Good evening. On behalf of the Alumni Board, President Clarence Wyatt, and our First Lady, Miss Loie Stone, welcome to the 2020 Alumni Impact Awards. This is when we usually welcome you back home to our beautiful campus, but this year we bring Monmouth College to your home. Thank you for joining us from your couch or your kitchen or wherever you may be to help us celebrate the accomplishments of Monmouth College and her alumni. I'm Jennifer Armstrong, Director of Alumni Engagement, and it is my privilege to begin tonight's program. Before we get to the award presentations this evening, we'd like to send our heartfelt thank you to our Monmouth College Board of Trustees, who have been diligent in guiding us through the rocky waters of 2020 and providing their vision to keep this college vibrant and successful for many years to come. I'd also like to thank our Alumni Board. The Alumni Board are the true eyes and ears of our Alumni Association. The board has embraced the Zoom experience and gathered multiple times over the past few months to show their support for the college they love so well. Speaking of Zoom and other new technologies, our current faculty and staff responded in amazing fashion to the constraints that the pandemic put on them in the second half of the spring semester. That hard work and dedication continued over the summer as they prepared Monmouth College for the return of students in August. We're deeply thankful for all their efforts and flexibility as we continue to move forward with in-person learning this fall. Our emeriti faculty and staff also continue to leave a lasting impact on the college. Because of their commitment to education, I'd like to recognize all of them this evening as well. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Andy Kerr, class of 1973, and president of the Monmouth College Alumni Board, to help us kick off our award presentations.
Thank you, Jen. And a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first ever virtual Alumni Impact Awards ceremony. I always love the opportunity to get back on campus and attend this great event. It is an honor to recognize our own alumni for their accomplishments beyond the hallways of Monmouth College. The first 4 awards this evening are from nominees recommended by fellow alumni and friends of Monmouth. These are Family of the Year, Young Alumnus Award, Distinguished Service Award, and Distinguished Alumnus Award. The 5th award, the Hatch Award for Distinguished Teaching, is from recommendations of the Dean of Faculty. All 5 of these awards are voted on by the members of the Alumni Board of Directors. These winners are exceptional, and we are very proud and honored to call them our own. They underscore what it means to have been a student at Monmouth. And so, as we have already sent out the Highlander trophies to the winners, let's get on with the presentations. For that, I will turn the Zoom microphone back to Jen Armstrong. Thank you.
First on our agenda this evening is the Family of the Year. The honored family is recognized for their consistent and sustained involvement with and support for Monmouth College over several generations. The family selected as the Family of the Year exemplifies qualities towards which Monmouth students should aspire: commitment to service, leadership, and academic achievement. With pride, this year's Family of the Year can claim not only that they have 3 generations of their family who attended Monmouth College, but members of each generation have also found their sweetheart on campus marrying a Monmouth student. That long legacy, as well as the support they've given Monmouth throughout the years, has earned the Riggs family the 2020 Family of the Year honor. The family's connection to Monmouth began in 1956 when Ralph Riggs, class of 60, enrolled as a freshman. Soon after, he met and fell in love with his classmate, Judy Ireland. One of Ralph and Judy's children, David Riggs, is a 1987 Monmouth graduate. David is married to a 1989 alumna, Beth Bauman Riggs. The family's 3rd generation at Monmouth was the couple's daughter, Rebecca Riggs. Rebecca graduated from Monmouth in 2013, but not before she met her husband, Josh McEwen, class of 2011, on campus. They have also honored their family legacy, supporting Monmouth with endowed scholarships in both Ralph and Judy's name. We have a feeling there might be even more generations of the Riggs family here at Monmouth in the future. But in the meantime, I'm very proud to acknowledge tonight's 2020 Family of the Year, the Riggs family.
On behalf of the Riggs, Bauman, Ireland, and McEwen families, we are delighted to accept the Family of the Year Award from Monmouth College. It is both a pleasure and an honor.
Monmouth College has been a family tradition since the 1940s. Someone from our family tree has been in attendance at the college every decade since the 1940s, with the exception of the 1990s. The 2020s have yet to be determined. Among us, there are 19 alumni with 15 Monmouth College degrees. 8 of us also went on to obtain graduate degrees in a variety of fields. This produced 8 business people, 3 teachers, 2 ministers, 2 historians, 1 doctor, 1 lawyer, 1 chemist, and a nurse. It has also produced 5 marriages. 3 family members are second-generation Monmouth College graduates, and 2 family members are third-generation Monmouth College graduates.
We have a tradition, a bond, and a shared history as alumni, but we also cherish our individual experiences. In our loyalty, we continue to support our beloved Monmouth College. It is a family's devotion to the school we love so well.
Fighting Scots forever!
Next, our Young Alumnus Award is given by the Alumni Board to recognize the exceptional achievements of an alumnus, aged 35 or younger, for significant contributions, accomplishments, and or demonstrated promise in the recipient's chosen field. The resumes of our Young Alumni Award winners are always so impressive. It seems like they were only in school yesterday, and in a very short amount of time, they've accomplished so much. Tonight's honoree is yet another example of that. This year's Young Alumnus Award recipient followed his father, his brother, and his uncle to Monmouth College, a school he knew he was destined to attend, he claims, since about 2nd grade. He's volunteered at some capacity at a variety of different organizations, accumulating an extraordinary record of involvement and willingness to help others, especially when it involves a golf tournament. When he agrees to become involved in a cause, he regularly takes on leadership roles and helps the organization thrive. Professionally, he now serves as a business development specialist for OSF Healthcare in Peoria, where he also volunteered while in high school. He has strengthened ties between Monmouth College and OSF Holy Family, helping to formalize an internship program that benefits Monmouth students. People that know him know he's a graduate of Monmouth College, mostly because he's always wearing something from his very large collection of Monmouth apparel. His devotion to his alma mater has also included taking a position on the Alumni Board. While serving as a member of its Alumni Engagement Committee, he helped establish and name the Tartan Talks webinar series. Our warm congratulations to the 2020 Young Alumnus Award winner, Zach Edmonds. Zach, we appreciate you and your love of all things tartan.
Oh, hello everyone. I guess it's time for interview acceptance speech, so I guess we'll get started. Well, I should probably change it to something a little more appropriate. Roo-rah rega. Maybe freshman year. Not getting it done now. How about go Scots? Nope. Paul Rickey. Director Paul Rickey. Whoa. No. Yep, I think we got it. Sorry about that. As you can see, I get a little excited about my alma mater, Monmouth College. So I just want to start by talking a little bit about this award and what it means to me. I've always kind of known I was going to Monmouth College ever since, I believe, 1995. My older brother Adam was a freshman, and I visited for homecoming and just really fell in love with the campus. My dad also went there, class of 71, and my uncle, class of 1974. So several different years apart from the 90s, but just seeing pictures from when they were there and from when my brother was there, and then just even when I was there from 04 to 08. And even now, just the transformation the campus has been through. It's a real special place. It's really hard to put in words, but at the same time, everybody knows what you're talking about. And it's indescribable, but everybody that's watching this video will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of the craziest thing. So I'll be honest, I never thought I'd be sitting here. One, partially due to COVID. I'd rather be in person, but it is what it is. And two, I didn't know much about this award until I started on the alumni board. But I think it's really humbling that voted on by my peers and nominated by my wife. It really means a lot because I have had that connection to Monmouth since, well, but even before I was born, to be honest. And going through only being there, you know, as a student for 4 years, but having a connection for 12 plus years afterwards and getting involved, attending homecomings, attending alumni events in the different areas, working hand in hand with the college on different opportunities to align with OSF, to align with Holy Family in town, to help with that alignment and strengthen that relationship, to take care of the students while they're on campus, while we have them. So volunteering, like I had mentioned, being part of videos, I don't know if that's good or bad. If you guys want me in videos on marketing material, there's probably some data out there that maybe it went up, maybe it went down, I don't know. But yeah, happy to help in any way and really just promote Monmouth College. And I think this award speaks volumes to my pride in the college and being a Fighting Scot for life. I'd first like to thank Peggy McNitt in the bookstore. She gave me a job on campus while I was there, put up with me. She was like a second mom. I know better if I'm on campus and I don't go visit her. She'll find out and I'll hear about it. So thank you, Peggy, for everything you've done for me and continue to do for me. My professors, Lee McGann, or as his in-person guy, Chet Amagan, in class. I'd like to thank my advisor, Chris Goebel, for everything you did for me while I was a student and continue to do for me now. I always appreciate our conversations about, well, nothing, but we always find great things to talk about: movies, cinema, all kinds of rewarding topics. And for those of you that were there last year, the Hatch Distinguished Professor Award went to Trudy Peterson, and she thanked me publicly by telling a story when I was there that I played a toaster. I have been told I do not have time to play that entire version of the song, but maybe a video will come out shortly with that. No promises, but thank you, Trudy, for everything while I was on campus and continue to this day. I always appreciate our conversations, our very honest conversations, and entertaining conversations as well. So thank you. Also, Dean Merritt, Dean Orgazelik, everything that you did for me on campus and now. I'm sure I'm missing several of the people on campus, but I'd also like to thank some of my fraternity brothers, John Gorskowski, Dan Campione, Eric Hofer, Scott Flynn, Joe Geiger, David Girth, Dave Abrams. Sure I'm going to miss some of those, but especially I would like to thank, Ryan Powers. Sorry, I knew I'd forget one, and I'd also like to thank especially Ben Hickerson and John Garrity. They were the ones that really introduced me to the alumni board, and through their involvement kind of got me inspired to join as well. So thank you guys for that. And last but not least, my family, my older brother Adam, who is an alumni of the college, my older sister Emily, my younger brother Josh, and then my beautiful wife Nicole. She's not an alumni of Monmouth College, but she went somewhere that was red and white, so we'll give her that. She does have more Monmouth College attire than probably any spouse should that didn't go there. So, and then my dad, obviously he was the first one in our family to go there in 1971. So really starting that connection off and getting me over the time to fall in love with Monmouth College. Never once was it a discussion where I had to go there or anything like that. I got to make that decision myself, but thank you for paving that way. And then last but not least, my mom. been a true inspiration for me. She did not go to Monmouth College as well, but she does feel a connection to the campus. She describes it as a small campus envy. She went to kind of a larger university, and it was all spaced out. So she really liked the fact that here I still have the relationship with my professors and several other people on campus. But she has been the one to really get me to want to be involved, to really give back, be more about others than myself. So I'm involved in several other organizations because of her. So thank you, Mom, for that inspiration. I really appreciate it. And then for this last part, we're going to bring in my two children, which Zoe, I think I calculated it correctly, could be a Monmouth College graduate in the class of 2039, and then Zach Mason could be class of 2042. That seems a long way away, and I will say they can go anywhere they want, but if they want me to pay for it, they're going to Monmouth College. All right, got the kiddos. We'll finish out this acceptance. So thank you, everyone, from everybody at the college, every one of the alumni board members, every one of my fellow fraternity brothers, other classmates from the class of 2008. I really appreciate this award. I'm going to do my best to continue working alongside the college and continuing to build that legacy. So these two have somewhere to go, as I mentioned earlier. We'll keep that between us. But thank you again for my family and yours. Stay safe in these unprecedented times. Hopefully we'll have some live action in 2021 at homecoming. But to end, Zoe, you have something to say? Say go Scots.
Go Scots.
Alrighty, thank you.
The Distinguished Service Award is given by the Alumni Board to recognize outstanding service to Monmouth College by alumni, parents, and friends. Those who have received this award have shown what service above self truly means. We hope that our students grow the same passion and leadership as a Monmouth College supporter that has been shown by the current and past recipients of this honor. Ask most people a few years after they've graduated from college to name the admissions counselor they worked with as a high school senior, and the name will have escaped them. They'll draw a blank. But ask more than 1,000 Monmouth graduates who that person was for them, and his name will roll right off their tongue. Peter Pitts. During his 40 years as an admissions counselor, which included 27 years at Monmouth until his retirement last year, Peter estimates he helped more than 2,000 students find a college home. Peter was known to go above and beyond to help students learn about Monmouth, and his regular correspondence with prospective students almost made him a part of their family. Once the students came to Monmouth, they became like an extended family for Peter, who followed their accomplishments proudly long after they graduated. Peter helped Monmouth College develop a strong presence in the Chicago area, and in particular with students from underserved populations. The percentage of minority students enrolled at Monmouth quadrupled during this time, thanks to a college-wide effort and commitment. Following his retirement, Peter has remained active in the admissions field, working as an independent consultant and publishing a memoir about his 4 decades as a college admissions counselor titled After Breakfast, I Changed Lives. Monmouth College is proud to present this year's Distinguished Service Award to Peter Pitts.
Good evening, Monmouth. I'm so sorry that I was not able to come to campus to accept this award in person. It has been forever since I've been on campus, and I really, truly miss it. I want to thank the Alumni Board for this awesome award. When I look at the names of all the previous recipients, I just cannot believe that you chose me, but I do most humbly accept this award. This award is especially sweet in that it does come from the Alumni Board. Some of the current and past members of this Alumni Board are actually my recruits, so that makes it just that much more special. A big thanks to the Monmouth College administration for believing in me and treating me so very well over the years, allowing me to work from home long before it was the COVID thing to do. I also thank all the various admissions and financial aid counselors and staff that I had the pleasure of working with throughout the years. There are so many memories. It is rumored that I recruited 2,026 students. Well, that's only partially true. A person cannot recruit that many people all by themselves. It takes a village to do this. The maintenance staff keeps the campus looking beautiful. The receptionist in the admission office is warm and welcoming. My fellow admission reps have wonderful visits with them. The current students give them the tour. They go in the food service, and Penny makes them an omelet just for them. The alumni help out for receptions and coffee shops. I could go on and on and on and on. It does take a village, and I thank everyone sincerely who helped make it happen. Go Scots.
Our next award winner is our Distinguished Alumnus. This award is given by the Alumni Board to recognize the exceptional achievements of an alumnus of Monmouth College who has distinguished him or herself through outstanding contributions and accomplishment in his or her chosen field. In addition, the recipient must have exhibited leadership qualities and or evidence of civic, cultural, or charitable involvement. A 1983 graduate with a long record of successful leadership is this year's recipient of Monmouth College's Distinguished Alumnus Award. During Steve Bloomer's tenure in the United States Armed Forces, he worked in several leadership positions, culminating in his appointment as Chief of Staff for the Iowa Army National Guard. Among the honors he received was the Wisdom Award, voted on by his fellow soldiers in the 334th Battalion. After nearly 3 decades of service to his country, Steve decided to retire and begin a second career serving organizations he considered worthy and close to his heart. The first of those positions was at his alma mater. He worked at Monmouth as a development officer, traveling to build relationships and financial support. In less than 2 years, his leadership and management abilities earned him promotion to a director position. In that role, he worked to develop the major gift strategy while ensuring proper execution and staff oversight. In 2014, he became Vice President for Development and College Relations, overseeing fundraising in support of the college's new strategic plan and campus master plan. After 10 years, he left Monmouth to provide his skills to another organization in need, Phi Delta Theta. He currently serves the professional leadership fraternity as Senior Vice President. Although major gift programs are in their infancy with organizations such as Phi Delta, Steve helped close out a $12.7 million campaign 2 years ahead of schedule. Since joining the organization, he has hired and trained an entirely new major gift team and led it on another successful venture, surpassing a campaign launch goal of $3 million from 30 donors and securing a $1 million gift, something that has only happened a handful of times in Greek fundraising. The award recipient's nominator for the award said, "He has a positive energy that can be optimistic and contagious. He consistently provides leadership from his heart." Monmouth College is proud to award retired Colonel Steve Bloomer, class of 1983, the Award of Distinguished Alumnus. Steve, congratulations.
Hey, good evening, fellow Scots. A heartfelt thank you to the wonderful volunteers serving on the Monmouth College Alumni Board. I was deeply touched and honored to receive news from Miss Hannah Maher on Scotts State 2020 of my selection that the Monmouth College Alumni Board had picked me as the 2020 Distinguished Alumnus of the Year. This will be a very positive memory during what has been a very challenging year. Clearly, the author of my award nomination is a very gifted writer, given the material they had to work with. Nonetheless, I'm pleased to share this moment with the other award recipients. I do want to acknowledge the difficult time facing our students, faculty, coaches, staff, trustees, and our college administration. It's my hope that the parents, alumni, college friends continue to embrace and support the core mission of our beloved college. A few comments about my own Monmouth College experience. First, gratitude to my father and mother who encouraged all 4 children to obtain college degrees without understanding really how the process worked. My brother and I were first to earn a college degree on either side of the extended family. He from Iowa State in mechanical engineering the same year I graduated from Monmouth College in 1983. My other 2 siblings are Monmouth College graduates, as are 5 more members of our extended family. Second, I want to thank Cheryl, Amanda, Monmouth College graduate, Stephanie, and Caleb for their tolerance, support, and love during my 3 careers. First with the United States Army, Combat Engineers, Monmouth College Advancement, and now Phi Delta Theta Foundation. Third, a warm and sincere thank you to our capable, caring faculty, coaches, then and now, who enable such a rich residential college experience at Monmouth. Finally, to my lifelong Monmouth College friends, my former colleagues on staff, my close-knit classmates, class of 83, our Monmouth College community friends, thousands of Monmouth College students that Cheryl and I have had the pleasure to interact with. Also, Bruce Haywood, Doc Keefe, Jackie Connon, Bill Urban, Mary Crow, Drs. Arnold and Sorensen, and Colonel Dwayne Slater, the professor of military science for Bradley Knox Monmouth ROTC Battalion when I received my commission. You all and others have contributed immeasurably to my life purpose, happiness, my thirst for a lifetime learning, and curiosity about all things yet unknown, or at least unknown to me. No woman or man goes it alone, at least not happily, I expect. Life's enjoyed really in the fellowship and health of others. Monmouth College invested in me as a young man during my formative years in the late 1970s and early 80s. Again, during my transition from military to civilian career in 2007, 2008, and then it opened the door to new relationships and a better appreciation for the wonderful alumni of the college. Finally, it introduced me to Phi Delta Theta, which opened the door to a new and exciting nonprofit foundation and fraternity experience. I'm sincerely grateful for this recognition, and you can be assured that the Scotsman will have a place of honor in our home. Blessings to you all. I hope your year finishes strong. We'll see you at the Highlands. Thank you and God bless.
There are 2 things that are undeniable about Stacy Lotz: her burst of laughter and her ability to tell you exactly what's on her mind. And the truth is that those 2 irrefutable and irresistible forces have made Professor Lotz a student favorite since her arrival at Monmouth in 1995. After taking degrees from Carl Sandburg College, Eastern Illinois, and an MFA in sculpture from Washington University in St. Louis, her path to Monmouth College prepared her well for both the ambitious and the pragmatic students who have come to revere her during her career. Continuing to show her work throughout her time at Monmouth, Professor Lotz's art remains a popular favorite throughout the region, as it will no doubt again be at next year's Galesburg Civic Arts Center show with her former student, 2003 graduate, Dusty Scott. Her contributions to the college writ large have long distinguished Professor Lotz. She's been Art Department Chair, Chair of the Faculty Senate, Coordinator of Integrated Studies, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, and a Faculty Marshal for the past 18 years. Directly impacting students, she's the faculty founder of our first-year mentor program and leader of our Scots Start academic orientation, as well as the faculty advisor for the men's and women's swim teams. And even with those vaunted positions in her pocket, most students will still tell you that it's the impact of her classes, challenging, friendly, informative, creative, asking just as much from students as Professor Lotz herself is willing to venture, that has changed the lives of students for years. She has a remarkable record of pushing students who want to be artists into becoming better artists, and of pushing those who don't think that they have a lick of talent into discovering how very much talent they really have. And though the alumni have made the right choice for all those reasons, I will end by saying that it's a real pleasure for me to be the one to be their voice today. A long time ago, I realized that Stacy Lotz and I shared more than a parallel life. After all, we graduated high school the same year, 12 miles apart. We shared a common outlook on teaching, the work, and the college. Stacy has been my friend, my confidant, and my most trusted advisor for over 20 years. And it is so with genuine and heartfelt pleasure that I present her to you as this year's recipient of the Hatch Award for Excellence in Teaching.
Hey everybody, let me first start by saying, wow, thanks for the super nice introduction, Dean Wilhart. I have to tell you all that receiving this award is really humbling, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm excited about it for a few reasons. And I thought I'd start this kind of short acceptance with a quote from one of my mentors, who was very influential and who said once, when I was a very young student, to think big, work big, and you shall be big. And I have carried that with me for a long time. I've tried to pass that on to all of you. I hope that it's meant something to a number of you. And I have to say that I can't accept this award just solely for myself, because I wouldn't have got this award if it weren't for all of you. For the alumni, for my current students, for the other faculty on this campus, for staff on this campus who have allowed me to be the best that I can be. And I feel like I'm a good teacher. I'm only as good as the students that I work with. And my students have been fabulous for 25 years, and they continue to be fabulous. So I want to thank you for helping me be the best that I can be, for learning with me, for sharing with me, for working with me, and for laughing with me. And I'll finish this off with another quote from that same mentor, who used to say to me when he was grading sketchbooks, if you had really good sketches and you had really good ideas, he'd say you got an A over A. So for all of us, alumni, current students, A over A.
Outside my office in Wallace Hall is a wall of plaques. And on each of those plaques is the face and the name of a Monmouth College alumnus or alumna who has distinguished him or herself through their service to the college and through their professional achievements. These are names like Karen Chisholm, Stan Chisholm, Bill Goldsboro, Dwight Tierney, Juan Everett, Karen Loya, Susan Gibson, Walter Huff, Fred Wackerly, and so many others. In these uncertain times, passing those names and those faces every day has given me confidence that this college, even in these tough times, will continue to be a force for good in the lives of young people for generations to come. And I am grateful to each and every one of them for all that they have done for the school we love so well. The Hall of Achievement is the highest honor that Monmouth College can bestow. The Whiteman family established the Hall of Achievement several years ago in order to inspire current and future Monmouth students to make their own contributions to society, to make their own contributions to the college. And I hope that the Whiteman family is watching as we induct 2 new members of the Hall of Achievement. Now, Hannah Maher, Vice President for Development and College Relations, will introduce this year's exceptionally worthy inductees into the Hall of Achievement. And let me extend my congratulations and gratitude to the 2 of them for their support of the college and for their friendship to Lobie and me, and actually congratulations to all of our inductees this year.
A pioneer in children's education television programming is one of 2 inductees this year into Monmouth College's Hall of Achievement, the highest honor it bestows. Bonnie Bondurant Shaddock came to Monmouth from Kirkwood, Missouri, and was actively involved as a student, serving as president of Kappa Kappa Gamma and president of her residence hall before graduating in 1954. After a few years as a teacher in California in the 1960s, she had the opportunity to venture professionally into educational TV, a medium which was just getting off the ground. Using lessons learned from her Monmouth biology professor, Robert Buchholz, as a foundation, her show taught science to 3rd and 4th grade students. From there, she became involved in communications and ultimately was called to the state capitol by California's Superintendent of Public Instruction to draft legislation that brought funding for educational technology, including computers, into classrooms. After serving as Deputy Director of the California Public Broadcasting Commission, she co-founded Oliver Asselin and ran it for 12 years. The company produced educational television programming for such clients as PBS, ENCYCLOPÆDIA Britannica, the National Institute of Health, and the U.S. Department of Education. In addition to her professional success, Bonnie has also been a loyal supporter of her alma mater, serving on the Board of Trustees for 15 years and making a number of gifts to the college, among them supporting Hughes Library, establishing a scholarship, and assisting with the purchase of a new home for her sorority, Kappa Kappa Gamma. Most recognizably, she and her late husband purchased the manor on the corner of 6th and Broadway before returning it to the college, where it today is known as the Bonnie Bondurant Alumni House. Those that know Bonnie know of her warm, sweet spirit, her kind heart, and that little bit of edge that keeps you on your toes. I am honored to sit in the very Bonnie Bondurant Alumni House as we formally welcome Bonnie Bondurant Shaddock, class of 1954, to the Monmouth College Hall of Achievement.
Baby, look, it just came in the mail.
Oh my gosh, Russ. Oh, what an honor. Sit down and let me tell you about the 4 years that I spent at this college that made such an impact on my whole life. You know, it was 70 years ago that my parents dropped me off at Monmouth College. And that year, other than making some friends, I didn't make my grades, and at the end of the year, my parents took me home. But I turned 18 that next year. I kind of got my act together, and they took me back to the college in the fall. This time I made my grades. And I was activated into Kappa Kappa Gamma, which I had pledged the year before. In another year's time, I became president of the Alpha chapter, which taught me how to administer meetings from then on. That year, I was elected president of the sophomore dorm. My primary role was to herd the male students on panty raids out the side door of the dorm and make sure they kept going. In my male-dominated career, I was able to work successfully with all types of men as they were out the door. My belief in a restricted student-faculty ratio makes for a more emotionally, socially, and academically successful student. For example, I had relationships with my faculty members. I babysat for Professor Katie Davenport. I had conversations with English professor Mary Crow, my Latin teacher, Emma Gibson, Bob Buchholz taught, and Professor Carl Gamer, my government professor, taught me the background and the meaning of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It was an election year for Dwight Eisenhower and Adlai Stevenson. Dr. Gamer made a full political convention that we all participated in. Then in my retirement community, I learned from those experiences. I was asked to be campaign chair for candidates in several local elections. Now, nationally, today, I am participating as a member of the Lincoln Project. After graduation at Monmouth, and my master's at the University of Missouri, and with 2 wonderful babies, we moved to California. When my children were in 1st and 2nd grade, I started teaching. My first year of teaching was with mentally challenged students. I burned out and accepted a kindergarten job in 3 years. The district had an extensive closed-circuit television system that broadcast instructional television to first grade through community college. Needed was a full-time second and third grade science teacher. My career was launched. For 4 years as the science teacher of programs called A Time to Wonder and A Time to Discover. I researched, wrote, and with the director produced 2 programs a week for broadcast. I visited classrooms and gave utilization workshops for teachers. In 4 years, I was asked to be the director of the media department. Then on to RETAC, the Regional Educational Television Advisory Council, housed in the Los Angeles Schools office. This was a 9-county membership organization that received instructional television from the Los Angeles PBS station, KCET. Then on to Sacramento, where the state superintendent of public instruction, Wilson Riles, asked for a bill to fund educational technology. I sent my consultants to the county departments of education and school districts to get their input. There was no opposition to the bill. Thank you, Dr. Gamer. Just before we submitted the bill to the Senate Education Committee, one of my consultants came to me and said, "You know, there's a new piece of equipment I think you should see." So I went and looked at it. As he demonstrated it, I said to him, "I can see the application for this piece of equipment, but you know I'll never be able to work the damn thing." That was prophetic. What do you call it? Computer. You know, this was Jerry Brown's first term as governor, and if you remember, he was called Governor Moonbeam because of his interest in satellites. I believe he was the right governor at the right time because he signed the bill to provide educational technology for students in the classrooms. We partied. Joe Kugelmoss was the director of the California Public Broadcast Commission, and he needed a deputy. That meant interfacing with 22 PBS stations in the state of California, as well as the legislature, both in the state and in Washington, D.C., and with PBS and Corporation for Public Broadcasting. And you know, as the representative for this new technology in the state of California, I was guest at many wonderful events. Then a new governor was elected, Governor Duke Majan, and he eliminated the funding for PBS. So I retired. Then David Crippens, the Vice President of Educational Services for KCET, generously asked me to write a paper about the elimination of instructional television for his department. He said later he thought I would say, get rid of it, but I'd been to Washington and I'd seen money for programming in the instructional vein. So I suggested he keep his division, and then he hired me as the director of education for his department. We did apply and receive funding for programs from the U.S. Department of Education, from the Center for Disease Control, among others. There was a variety of things. George W. Bush was elected president. and his wife Barbara embraced literacy as her project. I was assigned director of the Los Angeles Literacy Task Force as ABC and PBS joined together to produce a primetime program on literacy. I pulled together a task force of literacy providers, including librarians, community college and private authors, colleges, public and private high school adult basic education classes, correctional educators, and the screenwriters met with these groups, and the television premiere was spectacular. I always liked the way I was introduced at one of these sessions as having completed my undergraduate work at a small, prestigious college in the Midwest, Monmouth College. When President Bush spoke at a Monmouth College commencement years later, I relived those literacy experiences with Mrs. Bush. I always liked that. Diane Aslan, my production partner, was an Emmy Award winner of children's programming. She approached me, and for 12 years we produced instructional TV programming for such clients as the National Institute of Cancer, the California Department of Education, ENCYCLOPÆDIA Britannica, a bunch of other companies. And then I moved to a retirement village, and it offered up other opportunities for service, chairing the foundation board for the local Saddleback Hospital, as well as membership in a variety of organizations. You know, my brother Jim Bondurant graduated in the class of 1957. My greatest production was my family.
Sweetheart, that's not what you got the award for.
Oh. Well, you know, Russ, what do I owe this college for giving me a framework for such a wonderful life? Some young people need financial help. The scholarship I gave, named for my parents, was to help a young woman with average grades in which the faculty saw potential. Many years later, with prudent college and trustee planning, the scholarship is now received by 3 young women. Other gifts were given so that I could enjoy them in my lifetime. And then we must keep the endowment going so we can keep our wonderful faculty, the great administrative staff, and our president and first lady, who are doing really an outstanding job, particularly in these troubled times. Okay, you fighting Scots, continue giving to the school we love so well.
Our next inductee will be the first non-alumnus inducted into the Hall of Achievement since it was established in 1992, though many would argue that his service and devotion would warrant an honorary degree from Monmouth. He was introduced to Monmouth through trustee Walter Huff, class of 1956, who has been his boss, mentor, and now business partner for more than 40 years. Growing up on a small farm in Walnut, Illinois, he was the first member of his family to go to college, enrolling in the agriculture school of the University of Illinois. He joined the Alpha Gamma Rho agricultural fraternity and walked on to the University of Illinois basketball team. The aspiring entrepreneur started 2 different businesses and worked 4 jobs while still an undergraduate. Armed with a master's degree in business from the Indiana University Kelley School of Business, he took a position as a loan officer at a small bank in Peoria, Illinois. His fortunes took an unexpected turn when the bank president asked him to evaluate the business plan of a friend. That friend, Walter Huff, soon became his friend and lifelong business partner. Huff's vision was to computerize record keeping for the health services industry. He helped Huff secure the company's first $1 million loan and then subsequent larger ones. Impressed by his financial strengths, Huff asked him to become Chief Financial Officer of the company. In the past 40 years, he has invested in, and in some cases, been a board member and CEO of over 60 startups. More than 20 of these companies have become public, and a few have grown past $1 billion in annual revenue. Currently, he serves on the board of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, having been its lead director from 2017 to 2020, and he also chairs that board's finance committee. Monmouth College has been honored to have his expertise on our board of trustees, where he served 8 active years, including service on the nominations committee, development committee, and executive committee. And he continues to serve Monmouth as an emeriti trustee. Through the years, he has also been an avid supporter of Monmouth financially. Aside from contributions to the college, he and his wife Anne have hosted a number of alumni gatherings in Atlanta. He remains always at the ready to assist our students, faculty, and staff through his leadership, expertise, and guidance. While he may have worn orange and navy blue on the court, he wears tartan in his heart. Please join me in welcoming Larry Gerdes into the Monmouth College Hall of Achievement.
Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. This is Larry Gerdes, and I can't tell you how honored I am to have received your nomination and my selection to the Monmouth Wall of Achievement. I first want to thank Jen and Hannah for their kind notes when they sent me this beautiful statue. And I can't tell you how much of an honor it is for me to be recognized. Monmouth, through its long history, has had many qualified people that have certainly done as much or more than I have. And for me to get this designation, and in addition being the first one that's a non-Monmouth graduate, is certainly an honor. You know, most of us at least, came from the Midwest and came from similar backgrounds. I've been very lucky in my life that I had a father who in 1923 had the courage, after having served at the end of World War I fighting for Germany, to immigrate to the United States. He went to Iowa and served out an indenture with a farmer that was his sponsor. For those of you who don't know, in those days, if you immigrated to this country, somebody had to sponsor you and accept all financial responsibility for you. In 1931, he went back to Germany and married my mother and brought her back to this country. And the courage those two showed my 5 siblings and myself was an inspiration throughout our lives. I was fortunate to be the 6th out of 6 children and the first in my family that was able to go to college. I grew up on a farm in a little town, Walnut, Illinois, about 2 hours east of Monmouth. We were poor, but we didn't know it. We grew up with nothing, and we lost my dad when I was 7. So times were tough, but in this country, anything is possible. All I knew was agriculture and farming, so my obvious choice was going to the University of Illinois in agriculture. So while I was there, I did something that Monmouth has now done extraordinarily well, and that is combine a couple of different avenues. And I combined an agriculture degree with business courses to get a combination degree, a lot like we do in our new science and business programs at Monmouth. When I came out of Illinois, I went to Indiana University to get an MBA, and then I went into business, but first as a banker, looking for entrepreneurial opportunities. It was my good fortune that about 2 years into that banking career, I was able to help a young man in Peoria start a company. His name was Walter Huff. Walter became my boss, my mentor, and now my partner for these last 45 years. And as all of you at Monmouth know, Walter has certainly played a big role for Monmouth and its success. So I lent some money to Walter to start that little company in Peoria. And after about 3 years of borrowing, he asked me if I would consider becoming his chief financial officer. I wasn't sure that was something I was cut out to do, but he had confidence in me. And that goes a long way, as all of you know. 3 or 4 years after I joined HBO, we grew so fast we had to move from Peoria to Atlanta. When we went public in the early 80s, Walter took it upon himself to start giving back to those people who had made a difference in his life. At the top of that list was Monmouth College. The rest is history, and you all know the story about Walter's contributions and the effect he's had on that school. I watched from a distance that loyalty and commitment to that school. Several years later, when Walter was approaching the age of 74, he was required to retire from the board because we had an age limit. He asked me if I would consider taking his place on the board. He had done so much for me, I said it'd be an honor. Now, up until that time, I had seen Monmouth from a distance. I had a nephew that went there, several friends, but I never appreciated what the school stood for and the kinds of people that it put out as graduates. The board received me with open arms. This sweater was given to me by Dave Bowers. The school gave me this tie, and it was like I had gone to school there. So the 9 years I spent on the Monmouth Board of Trustees was more than I ever expected it to be. The school and the board and the faculty, the administration and the staff gave more to me than I ever gave to it. Because of that relationship, it's played a big role in my life, and it certainly has in the lives of many in the Midwest. As a tremendous liberal arts school that caters to both kids from small farm towns like me and kids from bigger cities. So I want to thank all of you, all my friends at Monmouth. I wish I could be there on October 9th to receive this in person and tell you face to face, but I'll do that the next chance we get. But you have certainly honored me. You've honored my family. I wouldn't be where I am today without my family. My wife, Ann, and I have been married for 48 years. She's a University of Illinois, about 8 generation deep Illinois family. And my 2 daughters, Lindsay and Leslie, who I'm very proud of. So thank you from Atlanta. I'm so sorry I can't be there, but can't tell you how honored I am to receive this recognition.
It is often on occasions like tonight where we are reminded just how powerful a Monmouth College education is and just how big an impact a fighting Scot can make. On behalf of the Monmouth College community, we are extremely proud of the accomplishments of each of our honorees, and we wish them continued success. Before I close tonight's award presentations, I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. While I wish the evening was full of hugs, laughter, and shared stories here on campus, we know that day will come again soon. Until then, I would encourage you to join us for tomorrow's virtual homecoming events. You can check out the full schedule of events on the alumni section of our website. Many thanks for joining us, and congratulations to all those being honored this weekend. Have a great homecoming at home, and remember, it's always great to be a Scot.